Hey everyone, and welcome to Rocky Watches Movies. Buckle up because we're rocketing back to 1978 for a superpowered look at the movie that changed everything, Superman. You know the story. A baby from Krypton crash lands on Earth, grows up to be a symbol of hope, and fights for truth, justice, and the American way. But there's so much more to this classic film than meets the eye. Today we're diving deep into behind-the-scenes secrets, crazy filming techniques, and surprising facts you never knew about the film. So put on your cape and get ready for a super trivia journey in 18 things you never knew about Superman the movie. Lex Luthor is synonymous with his bald head, but when Gene Hackman took on the role, he refused to shave his head or wear a traditional bald cap for most of the film. Instead, he opted for a unique solution, a series of wigs throughout the movie, subtly hinting at Luthor's true baldness beneath. Superman's opening takes viewers on a breathtaking journey to Krypton's doomed world. The fiery red sun that sets the stage wasn't a complex visual effect, but rather a testament to creative resourcefulness. Special effects whiz Les Bowie simply filmed a bucket of burning gasoline straight down, capturing the image of a raging inferno. Also, the Kryptonian characters we meet sport a unique glow, achieved through a clever material choice. Their suits were crafted from the same material used in movie screens back then, thousands of tiny glass balls reflecting light. The effect was striking, but also extremely delicate. The crew had to handle the suits with cotton gloves, as any time the material was touched by hand it would lose its reflective quality. Before Richard Donner met Marlon Brando, he asked Hollywood agent Jay Cantor for any negotiating hints, at which point he learned that Brando was going to attempt to do as little work as possible. He then called Francis Coppola. He said, "He's brilliant, he's got a brilliant mind, but he loves to talk. Keep him talking, and he'll talk himself out of any problem," Donner recalled. The story goes that when the director actually met with Brando, the actor proposed that he played Jor-El as a bagel. Brando reasoned that no one knows what the people on Krypton look like. Fighting to secure his star, Donner invoked Superman's long comic book history and told him that there isn't a kid in the world that doesn't know what Jor-El looks like, and he looks like Marlon Brando. And Brando looked at him and smiled and said, "I talk too much, don't I? Okay, show me the wardrobe." And staying with Brando, his role as Jor-El in Superman may have only amounted to 10 minutes of screen time filmed over 12 days, but he secured a hefty upfront fee of nearly $4 million. Along with a percentage of the box office gross that ultimately pushed his total earnings to a staggering $14 million. This translates to over $1 million per day of filming. Despite this astronomical sum, Brando wasn't satisfied. Feeling shortchanged, he attempted to sue the producers for an additional $50 million. It may come as no surprise, but Brando was a nightmare to work with on set. He refused to learn his dialogue, telling Richard Donner that it was the only way to keep his performance authentic. So Donner put the dialogue on baby Kal-El's diaper for Brando to reference during filming. Cary Elwes, a future star of The Princess Bride and Saw, worked as a production assistant on Superman. It was his job to bring Brando out of his trailer every day. He said Brando never knew his name and just called him Rocky. Christopher Reeve, Superman himself, later expressed his perspective on Brando's performance during a 1982 Letterman appearance. While not explicitly critical, Reeve described Brando's approach as dialing it in, suggesting a less than invested performance. The film's original director couldn't stay on board when a more cost-effective location switch to England became necessary. This presented a challenge. The chosen director, Guy Hamilton, known for James Bond films like The Man with the Golden Gun, was an English tax exile, limited to 60 days per year in the UK. With filming expected to exceed that time frame, Hamilton had to step down, prompting the search for a new director. Producers Ilya and Alexander Salkind then set their sights on Richard Donner, fresh off the success of The Omen. By Donner's own account, he was actually sitting on the toilet when he got the call from Alexander Salkind, offering him the chance to shoot Superman and Superman 2 back-to-back. When Donner read the script, he hated it. Donner said it was just gratuitous action. Superman's looking for Lex Luthor in Metropolis, he flies down and taps a guy on the shoulder, and it's Kojak's Telly Savalas, who hands him a lollipop and says, "Who loves you, baby?" It was like, man, if they make this movie, they are destroying the legend of Superman. I wanted to do it just to defend him. Donner called in his friend, Tom Mankiewicz, from James Bond's Live and Let Die, and the two began rewriting the script. Special effects brought young Clark's powers to life. The iconic scene where he kicks a football out of sight used a buried air cannon launching a wooden football. Another impressive feat involved Clark outrunning a train. This scene featured Jeff East playing the teenage Clark, suspended from a crane attached to a speeding truck, mimicking running movements. Look closely and you might spot a young Lois Lane with her mother on the train. Lois's mom was played by Noel Neill, who interestingly portrayed Lois Lane in the 1940s Superman TV serial. Remember the scene where Superman drops Lois off, flies away, and then moments later Clark Kent appears at her door? It's all one shot, so it might seem like magic, but it's done with rear projection. Margot Kidder stood in front of a large screen where the pre-recorded footage of Superman flying away was projected. Then, with the camera still rolling, the screen was removed and Christopher Reeve walked up and knocked on the door, creating the seamless transition from Superman to his mild-mannered alter ego. Perhaps the most homage-filled moment comes when Clark lifts the family truck onto two wheels. This scene directly references the cover of Action Comics #1 in 1938, Superman's first ever appearance, which famously depicted him lifting a car. In order to secure the rights to adapt the comic book, the producers had to bow to certain demands from DC Comics, and the publisher ultimately sent along a list of approved actors who were allowed to play Superman. The list was far-reaching and basically included every major star of the time. Among the names on the list, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Steve McQueen, Robert Redford, Paul Newman and Muhammad Ali. Believing that a movie star in Superman's costume wouldn't be believable because audiences would only see the movie star and not the character, Donner lobbied hard for an unknown. He eventually found his man in Christopher Reeve, who impressed the director with his theatre work. Early attempts at filming Superman's flight sequences fell flat. The producers were baffled until a breakthrough occurred during Christopher Reeve's first flight scene. As a seasoned glider pilot, Reeve instinctively understood aerodynamics. He subtly shifted his body during filming to indicate turns and maneuvers, adding a crucial layer of realism that was absent from the test footage. This simple yet ingenious solution transformed Superman's flight from awkward to awe-inspiring. To achieve Superman's physique, Reeve trained with none other than David Prowse, the bodybuilder who brought Darth Vader's imposing presence to life in Star Wars, though James Earl Jones provided the iconic voice. Several talented actresses, including Leslie Ann Warren and Anne Archer, were considered for Lois Lane, but Margot Kidder landed the role thanks to her genuine personality. Director Richard Donner was instantly smitten when she tripped entering the casting office. Then on set, an eye injury forced her to act without contact lenses one day. Donner, instead of being concerned, was captivated by the endearing clumsiness it brought to Lois. In fact, he liked it so much that he encouraged Kidder to continue playing the part without wearing them. Perry White, the editor of the Daily Planet role, was given to Keenan Wynn, but after his arrival in London for shooting, Wynn had a heart attack. Donner and Mankiewicz then made a list of possible names and just made calls until someone answered the phone. Jackie Cooper picked up and ended up playing the character all the way through 1987's Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. The Salkinds envisioned filming Superman and its sequel back-to-back, but the sheer scale, with countless sets and groundbreaking effects, forced Richard Donner to break things down. Enter a logistical marvel. 7 separate filming units operating simultaneously. Donner, the maestro of his ambitious operation, became a master of the golf cart, zipping between sets like a superhero himself. Warner Brothers became increasingly invested in Superman's success. Impressed by the footage Richard Donner delivered, their favourite sequence, the scene where Superman flies into space and reverses Earth's rotation. The studio wanted this showstopper as the film's grand finale. The only snag, this scene was originally intended for the ending of Superman 2. The film's initial ending, according to screenwriter Tom Mankiewicz, involved Superman hurling a nuclear missile into space. This would have triggered a collision with the Phantom Zone prison, freeing General Zod's villainous crew and paving the way for a sequel. However, Warner Brothers wasn't convinced there would be a sequel without a guaranteed box office success, so they pushed for the time reversal ending instead. Superman the movie was being filmed in New York during the renowned blackout of 1977. The New York Daily News managed to keep publishing during the blackout thanks to the producers generously allowing the paper to use their generators. Superman performed remarkably well at the box office, earning $300 million on a budget of $55 million. It ranked as the second highest grossing film of the year, following Grease, which brought in $396 million. Critics unanimously praised Christopher Reeve for his portrayal of Superman, while opinions on the film itself ranged from mixed to positive. And there you have it, folks. You know a little bit more about Superman the movie. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.